Descriptive feedback is a requirement in all written learning updates as it empowers students to adjust what they are doing to continue developing their knowledge, skills, and understandings. The learning progress continuum highlights where students are in their learning on the continuum, but descriptive feedback is what truly helps families understand where their children are in their learning, what their next steps are, and how we can work together to best support their children in their continued growth. As a district, we have guiding principles that were co-constructed with teachers and administrators across all our schools that we use to guide our approach to descriptive feedback in written learning updates. We believe that quality descriptive feedback highlights areas of growth and next steps in relation to learning standards, shares any helpful strategies and ways to support the student, is concise in that it does not communicate progress on every learning standard, rather provides a few notable strengths and next steps within various curricular areas, does not simply note what was taught, as written learning updates are about the child and not an overview of the curriculum, and finally, uses family-friendly, strength-based language, as families may vary widely in their familiarity with educational terms and levels of English language proficiency. For elementary and middle school teachers, who are the primary teachers for a group of students across several curricular areas, descriptive feedback is to be provided on the whole child as a learner, their progress on their foundational skills, literacy and numeracy, as well as any other areas of significant note for the student within the overall curriculum. For teachers of individual subjects, prep teachers, or middle school subject-based teachers, descriptive feedback is to be provided for the curricular area on each written learning update. Let's take a look at an example of descriptive feedback within a written learning update and how it embodies the criteria for quality descriptive feedback. First, we see the overarching feedback provided meets the criteria by giving feedback on the whole child as a learner and their progress on their foundational skills and any other areas of significant note. The descriptive feedback opens with feedback about the student as a learner and then follows up with specific feedback on writing, reading, and math. It also highlights where the student is in relation to the curriculum learning standards by noting the student is proficient in their writing, emerging in their reading, and proficient in math. Next, we see that this descriptive feedback does not simply note what was taught. Instead, we see strong evidence of this feedback highlighting growth and next steps for this specific student. For example, in the paragraph providing feedback on reading, it highlights that the student has grown by developing their reading strategies when reading less predictable books, and also notes a possible next step of focusing on building the student's knowledge bank of sight words. Additionally, we see evidence of various strategies and ways to support the student. For example, in the paragraph providing feedback on math, the teacher offers up a way to support the student at school and at home, which is to practice making lists that include numbers. Another criteria item that is well represented in the descriptive feedback is that it has lots of family-friendly, strength-based language. For example, in the paragraph providing feedback on reading, the teacher uses more common terminology such as reading strategies, and notes some simple examples such as saying the first sound instead of calling them decoding strategies, and giving examples like segmenting and blending, which are terms that many parents would not be familiar with. And finally, the overall descriptive feedback is concise. It keeps sentences to the point and hones in on just a few key areas of growth and next steps for the student. A less is more family-friendly approach like this helps us in making written learning updates efficient and effective for teachers, parents, and students.